Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about the Senate plan, the Senate compromise, and what was unveiled. We will go over it briefly. We're not going to get into the details because it may not matter. So, we will talk about that, and then we will talk about the elephant in the room over in the House. So, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, the Senate, Republicans and Democrats in the Senate worked together, came out with this bipartisan agreement, this deal, and it addresses everything. Aid for Ukraine, Israel, there's money for deterring China in the Indo-Pacific region. There's billions for the border. Okay? Republicans and Democrats in the Senate, they're like, okay, we'll support this. Biden is behind it. Republicans in the House, they're not behind it at the moment. They've decided that they may not support this. And the reason is, honestly, it's one of those things that's so bold, you can't even be mad, really. I mean, bold is the only term for it. I have never seen politicians bank on their base being gullible to this degree, ever. And this includes the Trump years, mind you. Basically, Republicans in the House are going to bank on the idea that they can sell their base on the idea that they care about the border and that it's an emergency that they have to do something about, but they're not going to do anything about it because billions for the border and automatic shutdowns in locations of the border, that's actually bad from their perspective. I have no idea how they actually plan on framing this for their base, but the reality of it is, at the end of the day, Republicans in the House, particularly the Twitter caucus, they need a border that they can tell their base is in disarray. They need a scary border. Otherwise, they don't have anything to campaign on. So the money, the billions, tens of billions that would be going to the border, they're going to vote against it and try to convince their base that that's somehow good and is going to secure the border somehow. And it really does seem like their entire plan is to bank on their base being gullible enough to fall for this. I haven't actually seen any talking points emerge that would be even remotely convincing. It really does just, it's almost like large segments of the Republicans in the House got together and they were like, you know what? Our base, they'll believe anything. So let's just tell them that everything that we wanted, that we got, let's tell them we don't want it anymore, that it's actually bad, and that us not acting on the things that we've said we would act on, that we just have to do it that way, otherwise immigrants. They are actively going to try to subvert tens of billions of dollars going to the border because they need that as a campaign issue. And that seems to be the plan. That seems to be what House Republicans are going to try to do. Now, Republicans in the Senate, again, a more deliberative body, they don't seem to think that their base is that easily manipulated. And that really has to do with the fact that senators have to run statewide. So they can't insulate themselves in gerrymandered districts that they've cut, the funding in for education. So they won't be able to play their bases easily. I'm again, it's one of those things. It's so bold, you can't be mad. Like, if they're able to pull it off, I mean, that's just amazing. Like, I mean, yes, it's a horrible, set of commentary on the state of the American education system and the United States in general. But at the same time, I mean, it's ambitious. I'll give you that. So the compromise has been reached. The Senate is behind it. The White House is behind it. Republicans in the House, at this moment, it appears like they're going to oppose it while pretending that they want what's in it, but they don't actually want it until later because they need to be able to scare old white people into voting for them. And that's what they've chosen to do it. They need it for the election. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.